This is video 2 of 3 for the Higher Graphics Child's Toothpaste tube task. In the previous video I showed you how to make the toothpaste tube, and in this video we are going to focus on the lid of the toothpaste tube. So if we go to datasheet 1, we can see here that we've got the drawings of the lid that we're going to look at making in Inventor. So the lid is a kind of standard round shape, but then it has these grip kind of rectangles all the way around it that will model in Inventor so that we can attach it to the tube. So just like when we made the previous part, we need to make sure that we split up this object so that it's easier for us to construct. So in this case, we are going to kind of make the circular part of the lid first, and the kind of grip parts and the edges we'll do at a later point. So the lid is circular in shape, and also it is symmetrical all the way around. So therefore we're going to use revolve, just like what we done in the tube. We're going to look at the end elevation, and we're going to kind of create this shape here, so that we can go on and then make the kind of grip parts later. So the first thing we need to do is find this baseline so that we have a kind of point of where to start. So looking at the plan, we've got different sizes here. Now the 52 you can see is pointing to the grip. So we're going to avoid the 52 just now, and we're just going to focus on the 50, the bit that's pointing to the outer circle. So if we're going to go into Inventor, we're going to go to File, New, and make sure we're in Metric, so we can click the standard millimetre part. And then we're going to start a sketch on the XY plane. Now because we're drawing half of it, we're not going to go out 50, we're going to go out to 25, so that we have our baseline of where we can start. Now if we go back to the drawing, we can see that the overall height is 25. So from this line, we're going to make sure the green point, and then we're going to go up 25. And there we've got this line here. So we now need to work out the wall thickness of the lid. So with the lid, we need to look at the plan, and we can see here we've got 50, and then the inner side is 44. So if we take 44 away from 50, we have 6. But because it is a wall thickness, we need to divide that by 2, because if we made it 6, then it would be overall 12, because it would be 6 this side and 6 this side. So we divide it by 2, which leaves us with 3. So we've got a wall thickness of 3 and a wall thickness of 3. So with our line tool, we're going to draw our line out 3 millimetres. Next, we've sketched this up and along. We now need to come back down. So we can see here that from the elevation and the end elevation, that we need to work out how we can get from either the base up or this top part down. So we already know that the wall thickness is 3 millimetres, because we learnt that this line here to here is 3 millimetres, and from the base up is 13. But if we deduct the 3 millimetres of this wall thickness, we know that this line here would be 10. So we're going to create our 3 wall thickness on this side, like so. And from our drawing, we can see that from this centre point out, the circle is 12, so therefore we're doing half of that, which would be 6. So from that point, we're going to go out 6. We're then going to go up our 10. And next we need to work out the wall thickness of this part. So 15 take away 12 is 3, And again, divide it by 2 would be 1.5. So the line here is going to be 1.5. And then again, we're going to go back down to our 10. So far we've created this shape here. Now to get this line to this line, it's pretty simple. We can see that our circle's 44, which would be 22. But what we can do is select our line here and go down to where those lines meet and then join them all together so that we end up with our shape like so. Then we're going to click revolve and then make sure we've got our axes and press OK. And you can see here that we have our circular shape for our toothpaste tube. Now already it's looking like a lid, but we know from our drawing that we have rectangles around for the kind of grip of the toothpaste tube. So you can see here the rectangles that go around them. For this we are going to use radial array. Now radial array is when we want to repeat an object around a surface and it keeps the exact same shape the whole way around. And we know that it's radial array because we can see here that we've got repeat the pattern 14 times. So that gives us a kind of hint that it would be a radial array. So the first thing we need to do is make this little rectangle here. So we can see that from our drawings that this circle's 50 and then this circle's 52, so we know that it must go out 2 millimeters. And we also know from this part that it must go along 5. So we're going to start our sketch on the solid part of our circle. And with our 2-point centre rectangle, we're going to make sure that it goes out 5 and that the depth is 4. Now the reason why we're doing 4 and not 2 is that because we've used the 2-point rectangle, if we go out 2, it would do 1 each side. So we're going to double it so that it's 2 coming out from the side. We're then going to extrude this. And we can go with the drawing and see that the grip parts go out or go down 23. So we're going to change this to 23. But we can see that it's pointing in the wrong direction. So we're going to change the direction. Now, with Inventor, when you change the direction into a solid shape, it automatically wants to cut it out. So we're going to change it back to, from cut back to join, so that we have this kind of thickness to start the grip. And you can see here, right now, we've got 1 grip. But obviously we need this to go all the way around, so this is where we use radial array. So in your Inventor, under pattern, you can see that there's something called circular pattern. So we're going to click that. We're going to click our rectangle that we just made. And then just like when we do revolve, we're going to click our axis and make sure that the circle is our axis. And you can see here it's made 6 parts, but in the drawing it asks us to repeat it 14 times. So we're going to put in here 14 and press OK. And you can see now we have our lid to our toothpaste tube. Just like before, we're going to go to File, Save As, and save it to your OneDrive so that it's somewhere you can find it later on. So there we have it, we've made our toothpaste tube and now we've made our lid. The next video will show us how we can join these together.